Introduction to Aircraft Interception Procedures. Okay, you've been a bad boy and have accidentally flown through prohibited or restricted airspace, or, worse yet, over the White House. This is why you should always stay away from big white houses. Suddenly, you notice that you're being followed by an aircraft that doesn't look anything like the one you're in, and appears to be flown by someone who looks like Darth Vader. Yes, you've just been intercepted. Now what? And don't even think about trying to make a run for it. In your small airplane, you're not making a run from anything. So here's what to do if this happens to you. An intercept occurs when military aircraft, fighters or helicopters approach your plane to identify, track, inspect, divert, or communicate with you, often for national security reasons. This can happen in peacetime or heightened readiness states. This is why you should always maintain a listening watch on the VHF guard frequency of 1 to 1.5 MHz. This will be the first frequency used to communicate verbally with you. Should verbal communication fail, then the procedures below will provide a method to comply with the instructions the intercept aircraft wants you to follow. Stay calm and do what Darth Vader in the jet next to you wants you to do. Key phases of a fighter intercept. First, let's understand the key phases of a fighter intercept. Fighter intercepts typically involve 3 phases. Approach phase. Interceptors approach from behind, often in pairs, maintaining safe separation. They'll close in a controlled manner without startling you. Yeah, so much for that. You'll likely be startled since you've never seen Darth Vader out your window during cruise flight. Identification phase. The intercept aircraft will pull alongside or fly past at a safe distance to visually identify your aircraft, gathering information such as aircraft markings, whether or not the pilots are awake. No, I'm not kidding. Sometimes pilots pass out due to hypoxia, and so on, all without risking safety. And no, this isn't the appropriate time to practice your slow flight skills either. Post-intercept phase. While the intercept aircraft maintains a close but safe distance from your aircraft, the pilot may use standard ICAO symbols, which I'll discuss shortly, or a radio to communicate with you. No, he's not looking for someone to play with because he's lonely. He just wants you to follow him. So follow him. In time-critical situations, if you remain non-compliant to his instructions, he may initiate a divert maneuver, meaning that he'll fly across your flight path at a minimum separation of 500 feet below you in the direction he expects you to turn. And if you don't notice any of this because you can't see lightning or hear thunder, he'll rock his wings and flash his lights to get your attention while crossing your flight path below you. At this point, you should turn in the direction of the interceptor aircraft. If you still don't comply, he might perform a climbing turn across your flight path with a minimum of 500 feet separation and expend his flares as a warning signal that you should comply immediately and turn in the direction indicated and leave the area. Whatever you do, don't make him go back and get more flares. He won't be a happy camper. So, pay attention here and don't force him to pop a few flares just to get your attention. Actions for the intercepted pilot. If you've been intercepted, you are expected to do the following. 1. Follow all visual signals, radio instructions, or devices immediately. 2. Attempt radio contact on 1 to 1.5 MHz, stating your identity, position, and flight nature. 3. If transponder equipped, squawk 7700, emergency, unless told otherwise. 4. Clarify any conflicting instructions from ATC or the interceptor. 5. Continue complying until released. Here are the standard signals and responses that all pilots should know If an interceptor, let's just say Jetman from now on, pulls up alongside of you and rocks its wings and/or flashes its nav lights at night, this means that you've been intercepted. You should rock your wings and/or flash your nav lights at night. Doing so means you understand what he wants and will follow his directions. Jetman will lead you away from the area of concern. If Jetman pulls up alongside your airplane, then breaks away with a climbing 90-degree turn or more without crossing your flight path, this means that you may proceed along your course. Lucky you. You've just dodged a bullet, even though you weren't fired upon. Of course, you should rock your wings to indicate that you understand the meaning here and will comply. On the other hand, if you were instructed to follow Jetman and he takes you to an airport, lowers his landing gear, and circles the landing field in the direction of landing, then he wants you to land there. Duh! If you feel it's safe to do so, you should lower your landing gear, turn on your landing light if it's night, and land, but don't transmit the word duh. At this point, many pilots give some serious thought to converting their pilot's license into a fishing license. Don't do it. You may have made a mistake, but you probably haven't hurt anyone. You'll survive, but you won't make any friends if you don't follow Jetman's orders.
If you want to pass your IFR knowledge exam or your private pilot knowledge exam, then check out my 50-hour and/or 40-hour Instrument Pilot eGround School or Private Pilot eGround School, respectively. Not only will you pass the exam, but you'll learn more about the essentials of IFR or VFR flying that you just won't get in other ground training programs. Why? Well, because I've been instructing for over 5 decades, have personally written and illustrated 7 aviation books, 5 of which are aviation textbooks, delivered training programs in all 50 states and many European countries, and have won countless awards from the FAA for my aviation training programs. In short, you won't be taught by a private pilot with limited experience and a basic ground instructor rating. Instead, you'll receive quality ground training that makes it easy and fun to learn. So visit rodmachado.com and check out the large selection of aviation educational courses.